Thank you, Dr. Baugh, and thank you, Danny. Danny reminds me of the reason why I work with lasers, because I can't sing. Well, it's great to be back in Glen Rose, Texas. And you know, most people when they come to speak, they always say it's great to be wherever they are. But Glen Rose is a really special place. I think the hand of God worked here in Glen Rose to do some of the things that happened in your area here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain to you what it is that you're seeing today on exhibit and how these things came to be. But overall, I call the presentation Emerging Technologies and the Great Commission. Now I didn't realize it, but I now know that many people do not know what the Great Commission is. And the Great Commission is to go out amongst all the nations and proclaim the glory of Jesus Christ. And I like to show how science and technology has allowed us to do that and how it's done it in the past, the present, and the future. Well, I'm a holographer, and many people know what a photographer does because a photographer takes pictures. A holographer takes pictures too, but it's a whole new type of science. It's a science of taking pictures in a laser laboratory under conditions where when you take a picture of something, it comes out in complete three-dimensional fidelity. And I've been doing that my entire life. My wife and I are retired now. Well, my wife's still working as an RN. I'm retired, and we just moved into our retirement residence in January. So already I've told you, this is a picture of me when I first got started with holography, believe it or not. I like to put that picture up there just to show the passage of time. Isn't that something? Yeah. That's, this piece that I had up here was a very early 1980s computer-generated hologram. Most people didn't even really work very much with computers in the 1980s, let alone working with computers to output laser images that are three-dimensional in nature. Wonders of the Bible, that's what I call what it is that I do. I had to come up with some sort of a name. And maybe many of you know how hard it is to get a domain name for something online, like thisismywebsite.com. You know, any type of idea you have and you type that in, it's usually already taken because there's hundreds of millions of websites. And I was absolutely shocked. I typed in Wonders of the Bible and it said, name is available. So I got wondersofthebible.com, I got wondersofthebible.org, and I started a Facebook page. And even on Facebook, Wonders of the Bible was available. Everything that I wanted was Wonders of the Bible. You would think of all things, the terms Wonders of the Bible would have been taken. So I was very lucky. So the mission of Wonders of the Bible, now that I'm retired, is proclaiming Jesus Christ through science and technology, past, present, and future. One of the things that I'd like to see happen eventually with this is the ability to reach demographic groups not typically served through more traditional outreach ministries. Now what that means is when you go over to the table and you look at some of the holograms, the biblical artifacts that are over there are from some of the major museums around the world, like the Metropolitan Museum in New York, or the Louvre in Paris, France, the British Museum in London. But you know what? The majority of people in the world, the population of the world, will never step foot inside of a museum. They don't know what it is that a museum's all about or anything. So through these types of technologies, instead of having to rely on people going to museums, we could now take these artifacts directly to people who would never step into a museum. And you'll see when you go past them, they're so realistic that you really can't tell that much whether the object's there or not. And of course, researching laser and photonics-based communication technologies of the future. And I always like to add, of course, Lord willing, because we like to make plans, don't we? But you never know what's going to happen. So Lord willing, I'll be able to do these things.